You know what? Actually, I think I'm going to add another window capture, if I can find it. Where the fuck? There we have window capture. Pure ref. Just because, not that one, we want to have pure ref. Does that register at all? It does not. Does it register once I... Nope. It does not like that at all. Okay, never mind. I just have some reference images here. I figured that would be nice to show. I guess I can maybe show it in... Oh, no, that does not work that way. Like, if you really want to see it, like this is my reference sheet for images that I'm going to be using. That's also very, very fucking loud, isn't it? Let's turn that down a little bit in volume. So there's my reference sheet. So there's a lot of motherboards on here, which I'm going to be referencing throughout today's stream, and probably more so than just today's stream, to be honest, because I don't see myself finishing this within a very short time period. But first and foremost, I think we can delete the light and camera, because we're going to not make this a render. It's literally just modeling. And then we can get started. Luckily, the first little bit here is going to be very, very fucking easy, because we just make this a little bit flat. Also, definitely should have the chat here. Can I pop out the chat, or should I just keep it like this? I think we can keep it like this. This should be fine. Anyway, so I have a bit of an issue with... I don't know what kind of scale I'm going to make this on, right? Because this is going to be the overworld or the hub world for the computer level in my game. Meaning that it's going to be a motherboard on such a scale that you can actually walk through it, and there's like populated areas, and the whole idea there being is that a motherboard, like in macro, looks like a city. I actually once made a little like 2-minute video with a macro lens of just shots from a motherboard, just video, and made a city soundscape under it, and that kind of inspired me to go do this. So that is quite the thing. So let's see what the dimensions for this object are right now. They are... Let's make it 100 by 100 meters. 100 by 100 by 1 meter. I think... I mean, I can still scale things inside the engine, don't get me wrong. We can very much do that. But it's good to just like make things in their proper scale just for like reference purposes to begin with. So this should be quite alright, I want to say. Maybe, maybe not. I also definitely need to enable the... I'm going to Google how to do that real quick. Blender, add new object, random color. That is a functionality that Blender has that I'm going to really fucking... I don't know. I guess we can just manually do it for now. There is a way to do that in solid view mode. Random color solid view. I'm just going to Google a little longer. Viewport shading, random color. Let's see. Do we have... Okay, hold on. It's in here. Oh, and then random. There we go. Okay, so now every single separate object is going to have a random color, so I can distinguish them a little bit easier. Let's start with making... I want to say... Let's start with making the CPU socket. Because that seems like it would probably just be the easiest thing to make. And that gives us a little bit of a... Of like a centralized... Well, everything is going to have to like be built around the CPU in the end, right? So, lads, add another cube. That is definitely not a different color. Hold on. Let's add a sphere. That one is a different color. Okay, so we just got unlucky with the color there, I'm guessing. Let's add another cube. That's fine. Top view. Where do we want this cube to be? Roughly somewhere like here is what I want to say. It's a little bit in the middle. But not quite in the middle, right? We're going to mess up the origin points for all these things anyway, like a million times, so it doesn't really matter too much. So yeah, where you want to have that is probably like a little offset from the center. It's also a little bit more tall than it is wide. Like this is the middle point, and the CPU should probably be somewhere around this general area. So let's just see if... I feel like this might be a bit too big as is anyway. Maybe we should block out the things first before we actually start building all the details in. That might not be the most horrible idea I've ever had. Let's put this one on live chat just in case people pop in. People don't tend to pop into these live streams a lot, but who knows? Maybe at some point they will. Then down here we're going to have the... You can see my cursor, right? Yeah. Down here you're going to have the PCI slots. The RAM is going to either go here or there. And then it's just like a lot of capacitors, really. And other chips and stuff like that. So... And like ports for all kinds of different stuff. But those are probably going to be relatively late additions, all things considered. Okay. Yeah, we're going to block things out first. I think that is that's a good idea to do. So we have another cube, which is going to be the exact same color, because why the fuck wouldn't it be? Can I just... No. No, I can't do that. Okay, that's fine. This one has to be a lot taller. And a little less wide, I'd say. All things considered. That's rotation. I meant scale. Something a little bit like this. Maybe even a little longer. Right, and then we're going to have like 4 of those. So let's just, for the time being, maybe these are going to be separate eventually. I don't think that they will be. So let's just add an array modifier here real quick. And put them that far apart from each other. That seems about right. That seems about right. We can always change positions for things. So then we take that, because it's going to be a similar shape. We rotate it, and that's why you need to have your things in order. Origin to geometry, and then we rotate around the z-axis for 90 degrees. We go into edit mode, and we select everything. We scale in the X direction. Do I have like a physical motherboard here with me? I don't think that I do, but I might. Hold on. I might have a physical motherboard that I can reference. That would actually be kind of nice. I have these images, but having a physical object does really help. So hold on a moment. I'm going to need to see real quick here. Don't fucking drop the camera. That would be a very expensive and stupid mistake. This might have a motherboard inside. Wait a second. Does this have a motherboard? Oh! Things are falling. Does this have my old motherboard inside it? It does not. Actually, it does not. Okay. It would also help if I had a computer case with like a tempered glass panel, which I could use to look into it. As it stands, we are going to stick to using reference images, apparently. Okay, this seems about right. And then have like another one of those. So let's go back with the array modifier. Another one of those down there, because the way they're laid out is usually 16x, then 4x, 16x, and then another 4x or 2. So let's say this is like minus 12, and then we copy that, we put you down something like that. I'm probably just going to have to do a little bit of math to get this like exactly right, to be honest, but I don't think it needs to be exactly right as a thing. I think approximation is good enough. So that seems about right as well. Oh, see, they are random colors. I copied the thing, and these are orange. Okay, cool. Okay. Well, that's a motherboard. Thanks for watching. No, we still need to do a fuck of ton more. What is the best order of operations here? I didn't really think this through too much. Because there's a lot of little things like adding in capacitors and stuff like that. A lot of which I'm probably going to do in engine. I'm just going to make a capacitor model and just add those in, because those are likely going to be things like buildings. And the question also is like how big do you want to be? Because we probably are going to run through this at about this scale. Otherwise, these RAM slots, like you probably want to add some like little hidden things between these RAM slots. Otherwise, they're very, very much too close to each other. I think they could do with being like 2.5. Like just having a little bit more, maybe even 3. A little bit more distance between them. Like it might not be quite as authentic. Actually, that still looks pretty good. Let's go for 4. That might be a little wide. Let's go 3.5. That seems about correct. Sorry for burping into the microphone. But that still leaves me with quite a bit of room to play, and like at this point we could even play through it at like this scale roughly, right? Which would be relatively small. You definitely want to have it at like this scale. But at this scale you can actually walk between the RAM slots, and I think that is very, very important. So let's copy this one next, actually. Let's copy this one next and go into edit mode. We scale this down in the X. That's not great. Let's actually, hold on. Let's do this with a constant offset instead, because that'll be just a lot better. 5.5 meters apart should be good. The reason I'm doing this with a constant offset is because now that I do this, this is not going to fuck up the alignment for things. So I can scale this down, scale this down a little, and then just say take this face, move it up, and we've got some RAM slots, which are definitely 100% sure going to interfere with the CPU cooling now that I think about it. But you know what, it doesn't matter that much. Obviously, again, I'm just blocking out things at the moment, but we're heading in some direction at least. I don't know if it's the right direction necessarily, but it is a direction, and that's more than I could have said of before. So, oh my god, we're also going to need to model an entire fucking GPU. And the GPU is probably going to be a level. Now, we're probably having a level in the GPU and probably have a level in the CPU as well. And then have a level in like the hard drive or something, or the SSD. which is a very good point. I'm going to need to add an SSD. Thing is, a NVMe SSD is not necessarily like a very noticeable or very, oh, I know what that is, type of component. Because it literally just looks like any other weird chip to somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about. A CPU is you can probably recognize. A GPU you can probably recognize to a certain extent. You might not know what it is, but you know that it's something like important or special. I don't think a NVMe SSD will have that same effect. If I told you that's like, oh, that's a sound card, people would like believe you. And that's definitely not something you want to use as being the entrance to a level, I would say. So, what to do next? What to do next? Maybe make some placement for some I/O. I think that might not be the worst idea to do next, because we're going to have some I/O over here, obviously. Just as rough blocking, again, because I have no idea what kind of... You're not even going to see this. Like, you might be able to walk between this, but the furthest you're going to get here is probably like standing here. Maybe like standing at roughly this scale, standing here. So you could probably... Actually, you could probably rotate your camera to see this. I'm going to need to model this at some point, now that I think about it. So... yeah, that's not great, but let's keep this within one object. Are we going to keep this within one object? Yeah, because they're always going to be the same location in relation to each other, right? So we might as well make this one object. So let's make this a little bit more modern. That's the wrong button. We want to have... what kind of fucking I/O does a motherboard have? USB. A lot of... there we go. That's what I needed. Okay, so we have some USBs. That's a DVI and a VGA. Do we really need that? Probably better to make a HDMI there. Maybe an HDMI and a DVI. Then we have some HDMIs. We have some more USB with Ethernet and sound. I think that's good enough. So that's 1, 2. Let's make this USB so we have a couple more USBs, because that's what I value. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. So let's make that real quick, right? Wrong button. So that's 1, 2. Probably going to change this as far as like positioning goes in a moment. 2, 3. And then let's copy the entire fucking thing. And we have 6. Okay, that's very small for I/O. So they definitely do need to be a lot bigger. And we need to scale you from... I mean, bounding box sensor kind of works, right? So we can move you a little bit like that, maybe. That looks a bit better. Still not great, to be honest. Let's... like, for these reference images, the I/O takes up about half the length of the motherboard. Then again, my motherboard is square. I realize that now. My motherboard is square. Most of them are not actually square. They're slightly rectangular. So let's Google the actual dimensions of an ATX motherboard. ATX motherboard dimensions is 305 by 244 millimeters. What is that in aspect ratio? Calculator, there we go. So what was it? 305 and 244? So that's 305 divided by 244 is 0.84. What the fucking hell is this song even? Oh, it's Union Cross, that's why I don't know it. I don't know that I get the MC8 for that. So which is the wider side is the question, because it's kind of hard to see. Let's see, this is the longer side. So the Y is longer than the X, so the X needs to be about 85% of what the... So it just needs to be about 85. Definitely exactly the wrong way around. About 85. Okay. That does not help my problem at all, actually. Like, not even a little bit. If anything, that makes my problem worse. But, hey. We'll deal. It does make it look more like a motherboard already. I have to admit that. I think the issue is mostly with the I/O is that we are going to need to make some of these a little... Hold on. First and foremost, before we do anything else, just make them a little taller. They're too uniform at the moment, and I think that's what's throwing me off. So let's go back to my I/O there. Because you have to have some that are wider than others, right? So you have... let's just use top view for a moment. Because this one is going to... which direction are we going? Bounding box sensor. There we go. This one definitely has to be wider because it's going to be DVI and HDMI. Then we have some USB slots, which are going to be relatively wide as well, but not as much. Then I'm going to just delete this. And this one as well, because we're just going to copy these over. This one's going to go quite a bit to the south. Okay, and this one is going to be relatively much taller again and more square. They're also going to have to be quite a bit like deeper from what I see. This one not as much maybe. These ones a little bit more so. This one, I need a top view for I/O. Hold on, do I have something with a proper top view? The ones that I do have with a good top view are very, very much... Oh, that's a good top view. Okay. That actually has the USBs as being a lot thinner. But that's probably because the other one had Ethernet in it, right? Yeah, Ethernet is a deeper one. So let's say that only the last one here has Ethernet in it as well. So this one can be relatively shallow. Then we want to have... I hope that I remember all this. This one can be a little more shallow as well, I think. And then these does not have to be like that. Okay, let's see. What does that look like? Definitely make this one a fair bit taller. Together with this one, I say they're about the same height. These three are hard to select in this selection mode. These three will be a bit taller as well. And that's starting to look like I/O. That's starting to look like some I fucking O if I've ever seen with some. So that's good. Okay. We got IO down. Again, the blocking for it, but definitely the blocking is an important factor there. What is next on the to-do list? Probably want to have the power connector. Where do we put the power connector? We're probably going to put that here, right? So let's make a cube. Which color is it going to be? It's the same as the IO. The power connector is a little wider, but mostly just a lot taller. So that's going to go about there, I want to say. A little bit higher up. Every motherboard in my reference sheet has it in a different location, is the thing. The 24 pin. Usually it's pretty close to the RAM, it seems like. System memory, there we have power connector. Where is it on this one? That's an older one, but it's still close to the memory. Here it has it next to the PCI slot, which just... Okay, sure. Which reminds me, we're going to need to have a 4-pin connector as well, somewhere close to the CPU, right? Why do all the... Oh, 8-pin. Sorry, it's 8-pin. Yeah, so it's always like very close to the RAM. So what I'm gonna do is... For the time being, I'm going to leave it here, just because I think from a level layout perspective, it makes just a little bit more sense this way, rather than putting it away here, because we could make something out of that, right? Like, I imagine that this is one of the first things you do. Something is wrong with this, which is causing everything else to shut down, so you turn this thing on again, and then you see... for instance, the memory is now working again, but like there's a memory leak. So then you go over here, you do a task, and that then unlocks the CPU, which is the first 1D level. You go into that level, the CPU has been fixed. And then you do some other things. Eventually you go onto the GPU, and maybe like somewhere in the IO is the last level, something like that. So let's make a copy out of this and put a... let's set your origin to geometry real quick. Can we set origin to geometry and turn you around? Scale you down a bit. Okay. Let's take another look at where the CPU should be, because definitely the 8-pin power connector for the CPU generally is on the top left, I think, right? No, top left, not right. It's top left. Here we have a lot of motherboards on a pretty low resolution, so I don't even know why I have that as a reference image. Top left. It seems to pretty much always be on the top left, so let's go with that. So that should be somewhere around there. Let's actually go into top view orthographic. And that feels like maybe we want to have the CPU a little more in this general vicinity instead. Okay. My god, we've been at this for half a fucking hour. Jesus fucking hell. Okay. Well, I'm not rushing. But I do think that we're getting to the point where maybe we want to start modeling something rather than just blocking them out. But honestly, I don't mind too much. I honestly don't mind too much the pace that we're working on. Let's put these a little bit further away from each other as well. Like we can spread these out a little bit. We can make... actually, let's spread it out a little bit. And let's make them a constant offset as well, just so that I know that everything is offset properly. So we have... let's say minus 18. That then means that this should be minus 9. Right? Nope, not even close. Because they're way too close to the other one. Okay, hold on. If that's 18, and that's the third one down, so it's 18 divided by 3, which is not an easy number. Hold on. No, that's not what I wanted to do. 18 divided by 3. Oh, that's 6. I'm just an idiot. Okay. So this should be minus 6, and then be moved down to fit in between these accordingly. Then copy that. And move it. It doesn't have to be very exact, and this one doesn't need an array modifier. Okay, the fact that these are not the same color is going to annoy the ever-living crap out of me. Can I change that anywhere? Maybe I cannot. Maybe I cannot. Am I really going to give this thing a material just to match the other colors here? Bitch, I might. Because when things have a material, you can go viewport, display, color, and you can just like fucking pick this color and it matches again, right? That's not how that works. Okay, in that case, it's very nice having had a material here. Guess it doesn't work. I am kind of annoyed though. This is a different color. Any way for me to change that? I don't think there is, maybe. That sucks. I guess I got lucky that these are the same color then. Maybe, maybe not. What if I copy these? That's okay, they all become that color. Sure, why not? It's in the right place. When we just go back to this shading, everything is grey anyway. So, yes, it's annoying, but I'll live. Okay, we have this populated over here. I think the big things are all in place now. Everything else is probably going to be mostly filled up with capacitors and like some other chips, but those I can probably best add last and do them in engine. Maybe adding in some more heat sinks. Like, obviously that's more so a modern components also have heat sinks, but a lot less components do so. And like the very big like plastic black finned heat sinks that you might be associating with motherboards, don't really exist as much anymore these days in that capacity anyway. Still, there are obviously built-in like motherboard like heat sinks for VRMs and stuff. But you know what? Accuracy is not as important as things looking cool. So we're just going to to keep that in mind. Because I think it could be fun having a... You know what, let's just... Yeah, having one with the exact same color as the background, that's not going to get confusing at fucking all. Let's just add in one... You know what, we actually want to keep the scale constant, because otherwise it's going to fuck with me at some point. Actually, let's go dimensions 10 by 10. Can be relatively small. We can have it like over here-ish. I don't think there's going to have too many other things going on for it. And we can have a bit of a platforming challenge here, I think. So... That's the basis for our motherboard. Now let's actually model the goddamn thing. We're going to start with, as I said, we're going to start with the CPU here. So, am I going to just build off of this, or am I going to actually build a... Let's add in a different object and just build over top of this. Just so that I don't lose the... Better yet, even. All of this. We parent to... No, we parent to you real quick. So we can hide it. And everything is just stuck together anyway. So that's good. Then we add in another cube. This one is yellow, because why the fuck not? And we start making it about ye big. And about that tall as well. A little bit bigger than I have right now, that's fine. We can always just like scale it down a bit, right? Now the question is, surely it's... Nope. That one, yes. Okay. CPU socket. Here we fucking go. Actually, not even CPU socket now I think about it, because it's more or less going to be... It's going to be a filled-in CPU. Which is a lot easier to model. It's just a metal bracket on top of it, which is going to be slightly problematic. And as a matter of fact, I don't have a reference for that. So, CPU in sockets. Why is my caps lock on? I have no fucking idea. Do we have a picture of a CPU in a socket? We very, very fucking much do. So, let's copy that over to my pure ref. So, it's a very tiny image. It's a very big image now. Okay, so what we want to do here is not get emails. And first and foremost, we want to inset this. We want to inset one face, I mean. And we should probably like... No. Can we bevel vertices like this? Is the question. What? I've got something on my mouth. The fuck is that? Bah. Sometimes you have something stuck in your mouth. And you don't know what it is. And you also don't know if it's out of your mouth. It's probably just a hair, honestly. Answer to my question is no, I cannot actually do that, what I wanted to do. So, hold on, I'm going to... One moment, I'll be back. Tortured me back. I did not in fact die going to the bathroom and just rinsing my mouth. Oh yeah, so okay. We are going to extrude this down all the way to there. And then these edges we should be able to bevel, I think. I mean, I know that we'll be able to bevel them. We'll also need to bevel the outside edges. So let's do that at the same time so that they have the same bevel. Bevel that shit. Nope. Selected something that I shouldn't have. Which is this entire fucking... Okay. Is that because I selected all of these edges? Did it select the face automatically? Nope. It's just the fact that I did not deselect it. Things are a little quick in the movement. My scroll wheel is a little fucked up, so zooming in and out is slightly problematic. I don't know if you've noticed that yet. That should be round enough, right? I think that's round enough, yeah. Then we want to... yeah, I was kind of afraid something like that might pop up. Honestly, right? Let's just put that to invisible real quick. No, we do need that on the underground. Do we though? Because there's going to be like a huge ass cooler here, which is going to be the actual thing we play around. The thing I'm thinking is we can probably just like yeet both of this. Okay, we can't yeet that. Never mind. But what we could do is we could maybe take this, extrude that down, only in the Z direction. Then say to this face, you can go home. Yeah, no, really can't do that, can I? Can I dissolve the face? Maybe. No. Faces. There we go. That's what I wanted. And then we can pick this edge loop and that edge loop and fucking bridge the motherfuckers. That's definitely the wrong key. Then we can bridge. I think. Wait a second. F. Was that what I wanted to do? I don't think that might have been what I wanted to do. Again, no. Bridge edge loops. Control E. Okay. That's making things slightly easier. Not a lot, but slightly. Because what we can do now, in theory, is... no, we still can't. What we should do, first and foremost... What we should have done, first and foremost... is mirror modify this fucker. Well, not really, because we need the whole spring thing mechanism as well. So I guess we can't really mirror modifier it. Okay. Then the question becomes, how do we easily... Like, obviously we we want to bevel this. I like this rendition of the song. Holy fuck. Like, bevel this, even if just a little bit. That's beveled enough. Bevel the outside. Oh, fuck. You know what? That works. Bevel the outside, again, even if just a little bit. Just to have it beveled. Shaded smooth. Normals, auto smooth. Okay. Now we have that. I'm still looking into what I can do here. I mean, I can do that and I can do that. And then I can probably connect those. And like, none of this has to be beveled. I'm going to do an auto mirror anyway. Hold on a moment. That's auto mirror on the X. Yeah. I have no idea how that changed the size of it, but honestly, I don't really care. Unless... Hold on, let's check real quick. Yeah, okay. So, now what we want to do is still not understand why this refuses to be a fucking edge loop, but sure. We can just do it like this. It's a little annoying, but it works. I said it's a little annoying, but it works. We can slide that in that, can we? We can slide that to roughly here, where we bevel it. This is very, very messy topology in a moment here, which is not great. And then maybe we can try to extrude along normal. No, not along normal. Local. How about local? Nope. Along normal is not going to help either. Global? I had it at global before. I mean, I guess that kind of works, right? You don't really need to be there. You can just exist like that. Actually, matter of fact. No, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Never mind. So let's just say we select these vertices and we merge. God damn it, wrong button again. Merge by distance. We do the same thing up here and up there. We say, hey, you're gonna merge by distance. Isn't that great? And now double vertices should be gone, but they're not. Because the distance wasn't big enough, I guess. Fucking wrong. Merge by distance. There we fucking go. Everything is scaled up way more than I'm used to. So the merge by distance it also functions differently than I'm used to, clearly. Okay, yeah. Oh, but that is an edge loop, because of course it is. Okay. You know what? Let's just take this. That's good enough, I think, actually. I think that is good enough. Now, if we just bevel this one. inset this, scale it down a little, and extrude it inwards. Doesn't have to be a significant bevel, just a little one. This is a little overkill to bevel the inside of this entire thing. Is that a little overkill? I think it might be a little overkill. Only issue that I'm thinking about right now is that it may be a little too small. But other than that, I think this is actually pretty decent. So what we do is we go into this mode and we say, hey, every vertex within here, I think I've got everything I want selected. Actually, no, I don't, because it needs to be all of this. Let's just scale you in this direction. And that's... okay. Then everything within this selection next. We scale back down a little more. Actually, we probably want to scale the entire thing to be a little less rectangular, I want to say. So, probably a little something like that. Which, again, bad fucking topology, but I don't really care. Okay, now, this and this, we're going to collapse, right? No, not collapse them. Merge, collapse, combine? Not combine. What is the fucking thing called again? I don't care. We're just gonna merge. Merge at center. There we go. Same with this. Merge at center. This and this. Merge at center. This and this. Merge at center. That and that. Merge at center. I think this is doing more harm than good, to be honest, at the moment. So that's not good. That's not good at all. Yeah, so the issue comes in here. Fuck. Yeah, this is kind of fucked. Like, really, really kind of fucked. Like, this entire edge just has no reason to exist. And this entire face just kind of needs to go. And we need to rebuild that face. But we have a similar edge-related problem down here, it seems. Because there's edges that are internal and just literally have no function. I think. Is this one internal? I don't know that it is. It's definitely not. That's because things have not been merged in the same ways that they have on the other side. Oh, I fucked this up real bad. I fucked it up real bad. Let's see if I can still fix things. Like we can try to merge these at center. Merge these at center. Say fuck off to that face. This entire face, I think, does not need to exist, as does this one, maybe? Yeah, no, that one definitely needed to exist. You know what? I hope I can go Ctrl-Z enough. I can't! Damn it! Okay. And this is why we make fucking backups. Because now, fixing this is going to be one hell of a job. Delete that face, delete that face. I'm just going to like manually reconstruct this entire thing at this point. Which is not necessarily a lot of fun. That face can go, which means that we have a face on this side that can go. Who the fuck is texting me while I'm pissed off? Oh, it's just Pokemon Go. Never mind. Commodore 64 graphics. That is like before 3D. I've never had like I don't think I was alive back when that thing was made. Let's see. Commodore 64. Yeah, that's 1982. Yeah, no, definitely. I was not even alive when that thing was a popular machine, probably. Yeah, no, that's there's one thing that I'll give you over this, and that is this might look very complicated, which it's really not. Anything 2D related, I absolutely shit myself trying to make. So there's that. Like the main reason I would fucking love making 2D games. One of the main reasons that I don't is because I just cannot do 2D art. I can hardly do 3D art, to be honest. Like just being real there. Also, things look more complicated when they go wrong, and things are most definitely going very much wrong at the moment. So let's just add in a couple of faces here. Add in a face here, and then maybe this face can go finally. Yeah, I think that face can go, which probably means that this face can go. But do we have a quad here or do we not? I don't think that we might. Okay. We didn't. But it still ended up working out for us, so I don't really mind. And I think we still have some cleanup to do, but I think that more or less works out. Deleting this edge is gonna fuck my life, isn't it? It did not, in fact, fuck my life. Sure, we need a CPU socket. CPU socket. Oh, it's a very like hasty one, but it is a CPU socket. I mean, you have to give me that. It's actually not even that bad. It's. I'm not going to say it's good because it's just not. But it's not that horrible. Can I get a? Yeah, that's the issue. Is that my loops are all fucked up. So maybe I could. Maybe if I just like, do this. Will that work? No, that will not work. I really need to figure out how to like do better topology, because I think, hold on, I think if I say this face you can just fuck, this edge you can fuck off, and just make a new face here, make a new face all the way around. Why is that two different edges? That's what's fucking on my entire topology. I think. Like just reconnect these. Right? Then select these two. There we go. And now I can make a loop cut again. Well, that actually worked. What do you know? Let's see, we wanted to have a little bit of an angle that way. But not too much. Let's just select these. And honestly, like, this one, do I have auto merge on? I'm hoping I have auto merge on, because I think I do. If not, I'll just clean those up at the end. That's not that big a deal. It's funny, right? Because the moment you start live streaming yourself making this stuff on the internet, you feel like you have to seem like you know what you're doing. Even though I have been at this for like a year at most. Not this project, but just like 3D modeling in like a larger sense. So I have no fucking idea what I'm doing like 90% of the time. But just by the virtue of like being online, it seems like I know a lot more than I do. Can we just bevel that face as a whole, maybe? I mean, it looks like you kind of can. Doesn't look great. Okay, let's first put this like that, because that's the angle we want to have this at, right? Roughly. Then this one can kind of line up with that as well. This is just for my own sanity's sake. It's not even necessarily for like topology flow. But I make that angle for the very specific purpose of being the angle that I want to use. So might as well keep it roughly correct. Then yeah, let's just bevel these individually. I think that's probably going to go a lot better for me. Okay, beveling that is going to lead to some issues, so let's not bevel this one yet. Again, it kind of works. It's not great, but it kind of works. How are we as far as like... That actually is kind of great. Okay, let's keep going then. Height. I actually think this might be better to... Let's try to bevel it. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's try to bevel it is what I said. Oh yeah, that's not going to get me copy struck at fucking all, is it? You do have a friend in me, though. That much we can agree on. Why won't you bridge? You're probably bridging, but I just don't see it. Yeah. And that's because there is geometry here, which... Oh, that's a weird-ass fucking face. Let's get rid of that. that explains a lot. Hmm. Not going particularly well. I'm just not great at life. I was gonna say at hard surface modeling, and I'm like, I'm not particularly amazing at like organic modeling either. And I was gonna say I'm not great at modeling, and then that's depressing because that's the aspect of this entire like game dev thing that I have the most experience in. So I don't want to say that that's what I'm bad at, because if I'm bad at that, imagine how fucking horrible I'm at the rest. That being said, I would actually argue that I'm probably already better at programming than I am at modeling, which is actually kind of sad. Baffle that. Do I have bool tools enabled? I think I don't. Hold on. Bool tools. Nope. Now I do. Where is it? Real grass, real trees, create. I've generated. Nope. Tool. View. Edit. Somewhere in here I should have bool tools. You know what? We can just do a normal boolean. It's fine. It's relatively simple. It is something that I really should have enabled ASAP though. Because it's a really fucking useful add-on. But for right now, we can deal. Boolean objects. I think that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. Cool. I think we have a CPU socket. Which means that next up, we gotta make the fucking CPU. Which is probably the easiest thing in the universe. Because it's literally just like a square with another square on top. If we need to make the bottom as well, that's where the problem comes in. But we don't need to do that. Oh, we also need to make the spring arm. And that's indeed a thing, isn't it? Okay, not done with the socket yet. So let's see if we extrude this that way. That gives us a decent start, at least, at the scale Y0. Okay, this is where we want to take out the... Yeah, because now we're working on something that's only going on one side, so we want to apply the mirror modifier. I really hope I'm not going to run into any issues with these things at this point. Order has been applied. Also, definitely need to save. We're over an hour into this fucking thing. I was honestly kind of expecting to have like the CPU and the RAM done by the end of this. I don't think we're going to make that. That being said, I didn't account for the fact that I was blocking everything out, which also took half an hour. Anyway, let's keep on going. Yeah, CPU arm. That's what we're doing. So you just... No. Wait, I did apply you. The fuck? Oh, it's because I have both faces. That's fair. That is fair. Y. Scale Y 0. At least this will be easy to work with, right? Because this just has clean topology. That being said, I'm about to fuck that up, I think. Maybe it would have been easier to just model this low poly and add a bevel modifier. Because I think literally everything on this thing I'm adding bevels to anyway. I guess that's knowledge to be used in the future. Scale Y 0, nope. Rotation Y, maybe. Nope. Rotation Z, nope. Oh, it's individual origins is what I need to select. Scale Y 0. Now they don't need to be individual, but bounding box center, because we fucking can't stay on the same thing for 2 seconds. And then we just lower this one, right? Squeeze, mate. I would very much like to select this loop cut. Would you please allow me to select this loop cut? Why is this not a loop cut? Now it is. We want to bevel this. And now we want to move this one down. There we frickin' go. Yeah, I only need to really bevel these edges is the thing. I don't think I've heard this version of this song. This sounds new to me. Add in these vertices as well. There we go, there we go. That seems about right. And then... cylinder. I guess we could just like duplicate this, and since it's in the same object... no. We want to move you... No, we want to move you this way, and then rotate around the Y 90 degrees. Scale you the fuck down. And just make another hole that way. And there we go. That's how you make holes real quick. Totally fucks with your topology. Again, I don't really care. As long as it works, and it's an artistic interpretation anyway, right? Let's just say that. It's artistic interpretation. It's not bad. It's just interpreted. Now we need to make the actual spring arm, which is the thing that I was most worried about. Well, the spring mechanism itself is also not great to make. So instead, let's go make the CPU. Yeah, let's do that instead. But we're still going to make it within this object, I think. Yeah, because there's no reason not to. Maybe there is, I don't know. I don't think that there is a reason not to do it. Okay. That goes exactly in the middle, if at all possible. And then make it more or less square. Did I duplicate something? I duplicated something. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. And then something a little like that. And you're hardly going to see this, right? So let's not waste too much time on this, and let's just do something like that. That being said, I think this edge is a little too wide. So let's make it a little shorter so that these clams actually do something as well. And then what is everything selected? L for linked? No. Control L. Control L. Select all linked. Okay, cool. Then we just make that one a little bit bigger. That way these fuckers actually do something as well. Just move it down a tiny bit. And there we have a CPU. More or less. Kind of. Not really. Let's bevel the shit out of this. Because this is definitely going to need that. Not that much. Definitely that though. I think 2-stage bevel is enough for this. And that. We actually kind of... Do we care that much? I don't think we care that much. And that's how you add a face. Is that a wisely added face? Nope. That's the worst fucking handgun I've ever seen. But it is a face. And it's the wrong cube that I just re-enabled. How far along are we? An hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the CPU tonight. We're going to leave it at that. Because if I start at the RAM at this point, I will not finish it in time. Like I can maybe do like the RAM sockets, but that's about it. So let's make the spring arms in the back. I'm going to need better reference images for that though. Not all of them have actual springs in it. That's actually really nice because those would be the actual hell to model. I can just add a little something to this in the back, which I can just slot into it. Again, artistic interpretation, right? Artistic interpretation is just something that artists say when they don't feel like replicating something because it seems bothersome. So let's get started with making... What do we want to make first? Rotation X, 90 rotation, Z, 90. Okay. This should altogether, all things considered, not be too difficult actually. Because we have the spin tool. And if I just like how do I change the 3D cursor's location again? I forgot. Guess with Google. Those are the things that I don't do too often. Blender 3D cursor position Shift S. Okay, hold on. So that means if we... Hold on. Let's focus on this here thing. Which I can't do. Sure. Cursor to active. It's not exactly what I wanted, but it'll work. Kind of. Wait, I need to curve it down. Not sideways. Okay, then we do that. That's fine. That's actually easier. I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true at all, actually, now I think about it. Okay, let's see. If we just spin tool the hell out of this, that's definitely not it. We can change it. Oh, we can change the center after. Okay, never mind. It's actually not that bad at all. Steps. Angle should just be 90. Of course, I mean not minus 90. It's just why wouldn't I not? No, this is 16K hyper-realistic. This is definitely not me just like blocking things out to make something. This is definitely like the final result, clearly. Okay, so let's try it again. Sure. You are minus 90. And... it doesn't have to be exact, right? I don't even think it has to be 90. I think it has to be like minus 45. Because then it curves the other way. Yeah, then it curves the other way again. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Does it? I don't know. I don't know that it does. Yeah, because then I can curve this into plus 45. Change the... Okay, the center definitely has to be a little bit more there. And if we just take this next, just move that to a little bit more into the middle. The same with this one. Just to make a couple angles a little less steep. Maybe bevel this one even. That actually does look pretty goddamn good, not gonna lie. Like it actually doesn't, but it looks good enough for what I need to do with it, so that's fine. We have very sad music to go with it, to match how this work makes me feel. Something a little bit, something like that maybe. That's definitely not what I wanted to do at all. And that's because I have the wrong tool selected. So let's move all of this a little bit more down again. And then we can... Is this the lazy way to do things? To a certain extent, yes. Does it work? Yeah, that's why I'm doing it this way. Because it's lazy and it works, and that's kind of what I'm about. Also, things not being 100% like straight might actually... Like, this is supposed to be a metal rod that is like bent. Like a very small metal rod that's bent. So things being slightly imperfect actually kind of makes sense. And I'm for once not just saying that because it makes my job easier. It's because it makes my job easier and quicker. So it's a very big and significant difference, you have to understand. So this is 45 again, and this is... Hold on. Hold on. This is mostly confusing at the moment. What are you doing? And why are you doing it? Is it the height? This is... Oh! Okay, that makes sense. Does it? Still don't know that it does. I don't know why it curves away like that. That's probably why. And then we can do another one. Let's line this thing up again. I'm getting better with this spin tool, which is really fucking nice. Because it's taken me a while to actually like get into this tool. But now that I'm starting to understand it ever so slightly better, things are easier to do. This probably needs to be like a 0. And then that needs to move down a bit, move that direction a little. As you can see, even just like doing this one and doing this one, I'm already like, this one looks so much fucking better. It's kind of unreal. Unreal. Oh, I'm so fucking funny. It's a little bit of too high up though. But I guess I will just kind of have to take that. It's not that big a deal. Like, just do a couple of these. Make the transition between segments a little smoother. Probably do something similar here. that we don't really have a lot of wiggle room to work with, so do bear that in mind. And then make this corner, and then we're almost there. We just need to make a thing that holds this, which is also important. I mean, it is just easy. Let's see, center X, center Y, center Z. I mean, I am just kind of eyeballing it at this point. I think, yeah, this zero, it only has to rotate in the X direction, right? So we just make this 1. We just make that 1. And then... maybe not? Why are you not doing what you should be doing? Should we move you back? Is that it? I just said I think I understand this tool, and then I show... oh! It's the angle. The angle is fucked up. That's... ah! Damn it. Okay, that's 0, that's 0, that's 1, that should be 90, and then we just line this up. That should be roughly lined up already. We line this up. We line that up, and then we... again, this is 0, we know that. This also has to be 0, we already knew that. So now it's just a matter of moving this thing into the proper place. That's really all there is to it. Turns out. I would like the... would like the radius to be like a little small. That's not how that works. That's how that works. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And then we just extrude the shit out of that. Yeah, okay, so we're going to need to apply this now because I do need to know where that hole is. Also, that hole is definitely not in the right place anymore. So... cylinders... no... cylinders, edit mode. This one needs to be a little higher up. Need to apply that. Anyway, how's life? For me, it's making a CPU, using the power of a CPU. That wasn't meta fucking enough, I don't know what will be. Welcome to the metaverse, I suppose. There are going to be some tight fucking turns, but it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Let's move these into position first. It's going to be a downwards turn first. Do I want to make it in one turn or in two? Let's make it in 2 turns. So that's 90. Minus 90, of course. How could I ever be so silly as to think it would be normal 90? Of course it's minus 90. I'm not an idiot. Okay. Yeah, so it's that one, and this one has to be 0. That one has to be 0 as well. Maybe a little bit more like that. And maybe it's not minus 90, maybe it's more like minus 60. And then we move you slightly more that away. A bit more. That seems about right, and then we can do another one. Which is really annoying that it keeps resetting to this 3D cursor. Should I just move the 3D cursor? Yeah, but am I? Well, clearly I'm not. So there you have your answer. I'm surprised that my mouse is actually working as well as it is today. Let's make this 190. Rotate around that axis a little. Rotate around that axis a little. And not even... I think this one has to be no. Not 0 at all. Also, maybe does just not need to be 12 steps. It's literally threading the needle, by the way. Well, it's not literally threading the needle, but we're pretty close to literally threading the needle. I'm starting to have speech issues, so I need to finish this up and just fucking go to bed sometime soon. I think I fucked up a little before. So, no. Let's just do it like that. I have an ID. I don't know if it's a good ID, but I have an ID, and that is something. Add a bevel here. Move this one slightly along. And then we're going to select... No. Select linked. We can connect it only. So we don't have to select linked. That's how that works. Good fucking morning. And then rotate around. Mostly the X is what we need. And this does not look great. I am aware. Trust me, I am aware. This definitely needs to be scaled in the X to like B0. Then we pick this one again and we thread it through. And then we try to figure out this fucking mess. Okay. Sure, why not? But that's not actually that bad. No, that's not that bad. Because we can just rotate these, right? Kinda. Individual origins, maybe? That doesn't seem right either. No. Long normals? Yeah, something kind of got fucked up real bad. Yeah, something got fucked up real bad. Yeah, okay, so that does not actually work as well as I thought it was going to, because that just... Nah, that is not acceptable. Okay, let's go back a few steps here. So instead of rotating a lot, let's just do the... Yeah. And then we rotate you to... You can't focus on a single face in edit mode. That's really fucking annoying. Blender, fix it. You know what? I'm gonna say that's pretty good. Okay, there's some pinching there. That's less than pretty good. But that's just a matter of merge by distance. There we go. Pinching is gone. That's a pretty not bad CPU, if I say so myself. Now just make something to connect the back part here, but that shouldn't be too difficult. Cube, scale Z. So I put that in there somewhere, a little lower. I do now realize that I could have done these things in a very similar way, and I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. I just didn't. I have no good reasoning for this. At all. You know what? Actually, I have a ID. It's a very stupid ID. It's a very basic ID. But then again, if it works, the age-old saying, if it works, it ain't fucking stupid, is it? Is it? Again, talking is very difficult for me today, apparently. That's why I haven't really done that much today. I actually had a pretty easygoing day, if you believe it. I mean, I also had a pretty easygoing day if you didn't believe it, but, well, then you wouldn't believe me. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just want to tweak. No, face select. Tweak you. Insert. Bounding box sensor. Insert. Why are you scaling weirdly? I don't understand. If I just pull you aside here for a second, insert. This should be a circle. Why are you being weird? Do you have strange... That probably would be why. Shift S? No. Alt S. Apply scale. How do we apply scale again? Blender, apply transform. Control A. Scale. There we go. So now you're still doing weird. Why? I honestly do need you to Blender, face, inset equally. Yeah, I've done that. I don't give a shit about anything you say about applying skill. I literally just did that. What is this song? Unchained apparently has a fucking banger soundtrack. Is this thing itself? No, the thing itself is pretty well. I mean, I guess I can just try to make it a circle. You know what we're gonna do? I'm going to add a new cylinder. Not change anything about it and see if it does the same thing. No, it does not. No idea why I did that before then. But I honestly don't care too much. As long as... Let's see... This seems roughly equal, right? That line. Maybe a little more that direction. Doesn't need to be exact. Because nothing ever needs to be exact with me, because I am not a very exact person, which is probably the source of most of my problems. And we just take this, and we just take... Oh, no, we take that. We insert it. What the actual fuck? We, I don't know. I guess the next logical step would be making a cylinder and doing the thing that I want to do to it before I start scaling it. Also, I definitely just should turn this off. Bridge edge loops. Okay, now let's try that again. Rotation X, rotation Z. And then we can just change these two. In some manner or another. There we go. That works. I like that. Nope. I don't like that. Okay. I guess we can do it like that as well. Move this one over to that direction and let's do it a little bit better. We can have this one, no, and that one, no, and that one, no. Okay, let's do it. Box select. I fucking hate everything that's not box select. Why are you selecting that when my cursor is fucking Doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's do it with vertices then. There we go. Top view. Place them a little further from each other. Nope. Yes. That more or less works. And just like that, we have a CPU. With everything we need on it. More or less. I mean, it's a very simplified one. A very simplified one. It also doesn't have a screw in here, which it definitely should. But I think we're going to call it there for today, because it's been an hour and 50 minutes, and this is what I made in that time. So it's not like not a huge amount. Like, let's be real there. What's more than nothing. So there's that. I'll be back probably later this weekend or sometime next week to keep working on this. Probably start work on the RAM. I might just import this into the Unreal Engine as it is for the devlog. I'm going to be recording either tomorrow or just on Saturday. Depends on what I feel like, honestly. Just to run around a little bit, get a feeling for the scale as well. Just as a temporary thing. Because I'm thinking, like, the scale is going to be something like this. It has to be. Like, it can't be much bigger than the character being, like, about this tall. So you can actually, like, jump onto the CPU. And with that scale, we also, like... If this is our point of view, right? Which we never get. These RAM sticks are absolutely fucking huge. So maybe it's a little bit more like this. I don't want to be able to wall jump between the RAM sticks is the thing. I want to be able to put platforming challenges up top here. So you have to platform between them and you can fall down from them. Anyway. CPU's been made. I'll see you all sometime when I'm streaming again. I'll probably also work on this a lot off stream because it's gonna be so much fucking work, and sometimes I'll just be working on this while listening to a podcast or something.